Hi, it's Bob Beverly from findwisdomnow.com, and I want to read you a dig that I wrote for just this past Sunday, December 12th, 2010, and it's called Spice, and it's part 4. Rigor won't lead you where you want to go, and neither will asceticism, suffering, or what you think you've understood. Spice will lead you, the flavor of the loving force. A good man and a good woman have a baby. The baby is born in an out-of-the-way place. He will become the central figure of Western civilization. And yet the night that Jesus was born, all the attention would have been elsewhere. Tony Robbins was doing a seminar at the Jerusalem Hilton. Caesar was giving a speech in Tel Aviv. And Angelina Jolie was shooting a movie with George Clooney on the banks of the Jordan River. Eyewitness news would have been far from Bethlehem on that star-guided night so long ago. When baby Jesus grew up, he did receive quite a bit of attention, but when all was said and done, most ignored him. He was dismissed very easily by most people, just like you and I walk by a neighborhood cat and don't especially notice it. It's just a cat. And Jesus was just a rabble-rouser, a friend of the poor, a religious nut. People were interested in glossier things. By any objective measure, Jesus was a fascinating and amazing person. He stood his ground and was true to himself. He had wisdom beyond his years. He could apparently turn water into wine and raise a friend or two from the dead. And yet he was eventually treated with more than indifference, more than disdain. He was shoved around by powerful people, hated by those who feared him, ignored by those who just wanted to have a good time, and he was left dead and forgotten. Next. If you think about all this, it's rather alarming. The story of Christmas is the story of how humanity can miss what is really happening. The story of Jesus is the story of the unbelievable blindness of humanity. Now, this is not a point about Jesus per se. I'm not trying to make a religious argument. The same point could be made using Buddha or many great artists in their own lifetime. Think of Mozart or Van Gogh or most brilliant women for millennia. Every age is clueless to the brilliance of people in their midst. And if this be the case, who are we blind to in our own Bethlehem? If humanity's capable of missing Jesus and slighting Mozart, what backyard wonder finds us with our eyes glazed over? You might live with someone who's gentle, kind, and sensitive, and their manner is what will save the world. Violence, meanness, and callousness sure won't. But you laugh at their meekness and idolize the tougher souls. You might know someone who's wise, but haven't listened to them and learned from them at all, not really. The big show grabs your attention instead. It is far easier to rave over the latest cynical movie that trashes everything. Who has offered you advice lately and all you did was get defensive and dismissive? A word comes to you from a friend, a word of tremendous affirmation, but the word finds no room in the inn of your mind because there's too much on your mind, too much to do, too much to worry about, too much on Facebook and Twitter and all the great blogs. It's all the same. It's all busy, busy, busy. And so nothing stands out. And nothing is revered. You've had your troubles and upsets with the people you live with. They speak of their pain or at the very least their disappointment. This does not register as something to address today and fix post-haste, for their pain does not grab you by the throat because you're used to their pain. It just sounds like whining to you and you're irritated by their laments. You do not hear the wish for salvation right where you live. They will be here tomorrow. You will always largely ignore them today. You feel alone. Someone reaches out to you, they're not cool or important, so you wait for someone else to save you, for George Clooney to magically show up and give you a smile? What if salvation comes in the strangest ways and places? What if the answer is closer than we think? What if we're all blind and do not know it? What if Jesus is the person we just dismissed? What if spice is just under our noses? What if the loving force is full of surprises? Maybe life is more interesting and mysterious and livelier than we think. Merry Christmas.